everybody, welcome back to Friday with Dannphan. I know it feels like it's been so long since we've done one of these streams, but we are back. We are back and at it for now. Um, I do have like videos in the back burner. I just have not edited them yet, so I'm sorry that you had to go through a little bit of a, what do we call them, the Dan famine, the Dannphan famine, where there's not a whole lot of videos for a while. But I can assure you, the videos will be good. I think. You know what another thing is? I did a video reviewing Core Draft, and after I did that video, not too long afterwards, I noticed that they were campaigning for Core Draft 2. And now I'm thinking, should I hold off on that review until I get like the second book? Like, is it worth reviewing both books in one video? Because I kind of did that with Fiendish, and sometimes I think it is better to review like everything in the series rather than just one book at a time. Of course, that's typically what I do with my manga reviews. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I guess I should ask Adam if he wants Core Draft 2. Maybe then I'll review them both. But my mic is a little wonky. You know what it is? It's probably set up to the wrong mic. No, it's set up to the right mic. I don't know why it would be wonky. It says Yeti stereo mic. By wonky, do you mean it's too loud? Do you mean it's like fuzzy? Oh, echo cancellation is on. That's probably why. It's probably because of echo cancellation, maybe. I don't know. I just turned it off, so maybe that'll help things when it comes to a wonky microphone. Sounds good now? Good. You know what it is? I did a collaborative stream with, what do they call it? Based Game Jam? So we were like kind of co-hosting an interview with the creators of the video game, why is my mind blanking? The Great Rebellion, that was it. Because we played that on the Game Fans channel, and we were excited to like get to pick the brain of the people behind it, for sure. Hey, thank you for the donation, Mark. Friday here, and so needed after the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I guess it has been quite a tense last 2 weeks especially. But I think things will probably be mellowing out a little bit now that we're past the election and everything. I recently met up with family again, and they're in Pennsylvania, and they were telling me about how, like, you know, Pennsylvania was a very critical state during that election, and they got advertised like hell too when it came to election stuff. My one sister was like, my phone would not stop blowing up with text messages, and it was just like insane. I didn't get any of that. I think I maybe got one text message. Just like one, and that was it. I don't know if that's because I'm in New Jersey, or because I recently, like, well, somewhat recently changed my number, and so like I'm not on the books anywhere. I'm not 100% sure. But yes, I prefer not being constantly advertised to when it comes to those types of things, especially. But yeah. So what else has been going on besides election stuff? Because I know you guys aren't really here for the political talk. Recently, well, just before getting on live stream, I was working on redoing the Reaper logo, and at this point I got like a bunch of different versions I could go with. I also commissioned someone to do one of the logos for me. And right now we're just kind of tossing things back and forth and trying to find a good medium between all these different ideas that we got. Logo work is really deceivingly tricky, you know? I've never been particularly great at it, but I did the first original logo for Reaper Book 1, and I've never really been a huge fan of it. But I thought it was serviceable enough to put on the first version at least. And then of course I did like the Horizon Quest logo, and yeah, Adam kind of also helps push me to a particular direction. He's very particular with text, you know? I guess that makes sense. I mean, he's a novel writer over here, but yeah, he's always very, very particular in text, especially with the text and fonts that he uses like inside his own books. So he's actually not a bad resource at all to get some feedback when it comes to logo stuff. He actually, yeah. Did you see the video on the Catholic Church mascot? You know, I didn't see the video about it. I saw the announcement on Twitter, followed by many fan arts. I saw like the little animation of like Luce waving, right? But no, it's a cute mascot, and I don't really have an issue with it. I don't know why some people get butthurt over things like that. It's not the first time that the Vatican or the church funded an anime to be made. There is actually a Bible anime out there. Cultured Crusader covered it at one point. But yeah, what was that new pen you were drawing with? Ah, yes, that was the glass dip pen. It's different. It feels very, very different. It's also funny because I've also made a video before doing this live stream, and I'm sure when I edit that video, it's gonna be... I was probably gonna put it up this week. So, if you see back-to-back a video with me wearing the same shirt in the trust me, it's like, it's just one of those weird things. I don't wear the same shirt every day. But no, I was talking a little bit about the glass dip pen in that video that I recorded today. It's very interesting feeling. I wouldn't necessarily say good feeling to draw with, but it's interesting feeling. It's got like texture to it, you know. It's not smooth when you're drawing with it. It's hard to explain, I guess, and it makes a noise too. If you can imagine like glass scraping against paper, yeah, it makes that noise when you're drawing with it. And I can imagine that doing negative things to people with their tisms, but for now, I'm fine with it. Oh yes, the Les Miserables. I know that's not how you say it, but manga is great. I've never read it. I've never seen anything pertaining to Les Miserables. I don't care. I don't care how you're supposed to say it. God damn it! I'm not French. I have no French blood in me. I cannot pronounce anything French. I really can't. Let me see. Was that a different artist? No, I got the new glass dip pen, and it's strange, but it's interesting. Kind of think 1 Pound Gospel needs to return after seeing what the church is doing. Oh boy. But anyway, The video that I was working on today was art-based, and I even put together a video of me like actually drawing some original art. I guess I should be drawing more Reaper original art so that I have something to put on the next campaign page when book 2 comes out. That'll be exciting for sure. I don't have a roadmap figured out just yet for when that'll be ready. To give you a general idea, I'm just drafting out the pages right now. And I finished chapter 4, and I have like 2 more chapters left to go. And oh boy, it's longer than this, I'll tell you that much. Like the 4 chapters that I just drafted out are longer than this entire book page length. So it's gonna be a long one, but it'll be good. I already feel pretty confident about book 2. My only regret, it's like a similar regret to the first book. Not enough big titty waifu. I did put in big titty waifu in book 2. I shoehorned in some waifus, but just, you know, it's just not quite enough. I think I'll permanently fix that with book 3, but for now, we're gonna ease you into big titty waifus. How does that sound? Ah, man. What an experience doing the Reaper series has been. Already. I'm learning so much. Like, always put in big titty waifus, book 1, right away. And there's a lot of promotional material that I want to work on for Reaper as well. I mean, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, naturally. I think that's a big mistake, actually, that a lot of indie artists and creators make, is that they put too much money into one project, all their eggs in one basket, blow it all, and then doesn't do well, or it was not a good idea to begin with. In a year, they like regret it, and that's all it takes. All it takes is a year, and you're already like, oh god, why did I do that? Impulsive creativity. It's a bitch. I know. It's part of the reason why I started off with a bunch of different one-shot ideas until I kind of found something that felt like it was me, it was a my thing, you know? Now granted, I still want to make one-shots in the future, but I feel pretty comfortable doing this as a series. I have an idea. Can you draw a president? Maybe an obscure one like John Adams? No. I don't know about that, but yeah, I want to see more classic literature done as manga. Yeah, I've seen a lot of those, actually. And I think it's pretty clever. Like, of all things to turn into manga, classic literature and fairy tales are very clever things. Because you can make it pretty close to the original source material without it being too jarring. Like, there's a lot of fantasy stuff, or there's a lot of fairy tale stuff that some people would argue only works because it's meant to be told as a bedtime story. And you don't have to worry about, like, the visuals or the logistics, but I feel like a lot of that works nice in comic or manga form. And, you know, you kind of strengthen your creativity by challenging it a little bit. Oh, thanks again, Mark. Is Sonic City really a one-off? It was a fun story. I know it's not out yet, but I did love it. Well, it's one of those things. Yeah, Sonic City Witch was meant to be a one-off from the beginning. It was honestly not supposed to be as long as it ended up being, but it did end up being kind of long in the end. Just a bit over 100 pages. I had ideas a while ago about like making spin-offs to it, like in the same universe but telling different stories of like maybe other witches or other other police officers or stuff like that. But I'm kind of gonna shelve those ideas because I don't really see that, you know, like I was saying about not putting all your eggs in one basket. I don't really see as much of a pull that Sonic City Witch has, and I get it. It's kind of ambitious, I suppose, or experimental. It's not a story that too many people can really get behind, where the ideas, the environmentalists are not exactly the good guys. Because everybody kind of likes the environment. And it's not even like I'm saying environment bad in the story, but I don't think people latch on as easily to a comic like Sonic City Witch, where it's a little bit more experimental and trying to do weird things, I guess for lack of any better words. But we have other exciting stuff coming out. And I wish I could say that Sonic City Witch has been sent to the printers. I do wish I could say that. But I still have like one more round of edits to go through in the comic, just polishing it up, and then I think it should be done and get that off my chest. I guess being in tech is why I got sucked in. Yeah, that's one way to view it, right? I guess tech is a very big topic. Sonic City Witch is still worth it. Well, thank you. And you can still buy it. Just pre-order on the website, burningstarcomics.net. Wow, I did a really terrible job at selling Sonic City Witch. I feel like I kind of downplayed it, and now I have to like spin it like, but you should get it. No, well, I mean, you can see the numbers, of course, right there on the pre-order page. It underperformed a little bit. That's all I'm talking about. But it's alright. We'll figure it out next time. I think with Reaper Book 2, what I'll probably end up doing is do like a second chance for people to get the first edition of Book 1. And then also Book 2 attached onto that. And I think I'll do Fund My Comic, and maybe also Kickstarter, maybe also Indiegogo. It's difficult to motivate myself to go to those platforms. Because, I mean, Kickstarter is fine, I guess, but it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. You did split the pre-orders between the website and Kickstarter, yeah, but it's counting both. It's counting both of them. So, even with both of them counted, it's still underperformed. Yeah, I know. It's okay. Into the crystals with Kickstarter. Yeah, alright. And, you know, I thought Indiegogo was really good for the longest time, but then, like, I don't understand what happened with Reaper Book 1, because for some reason it was just not in the comics section. I launched the campaign, and it didn't show up in the comics section of Indiegogo. They just didn't list it. And I don't know why. And basically the only people who actually found the campaign were people who were actively searching for it, or people who are following my link. And that's very frustrating. So I feel like hesitant to go to Indiegogo again for another campaign for that reason alone. The Kickstarter though, Kickstarter's this whole other matzo ball of like issues. But yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I gotta be funding this somewhere. Ooh, an epic Dannphan fantasy pack. All comics in a pack signed. Yeah, right. Right. You know, I guess I was on a tangent talking about promotional material that I'd like to be working on. One of the things I was working on is more music. For those of you who don't know, when book 1 came out, I also had this song commissioned. And I posted like a lyric video with like a looping animation on the Burning Star YouTube channel. And that was fun. I like doing bardcore type stuff. And I think if I can dare to dream, right? Something that I would like to fund on the side of doing, you know, the series itself, if I could fund a side project related to it, I would love to do like an opening and an ending theme, kind of like concepts, right? They always do those concept videos for animated projects to like prove that it could be something, you know? Whet your palate a little bit if you're an investor looking for a new animated show, but I'd like to do it just for fun, because I think it'd be super fun. And I did start writing songs, because some of you might know, some of you might not know, but I did also do songwriting in the past. I have some of those songs on this channel. They're not that good, but it's alright. So I started writing like concept opening and ending themes. I wrote multiple because, you know, you can never really decide on one. And I took one of them and like as an experiment, I hired some people from like Fiverr to turn it into like an actual song, just using like audio of me like singing the song and telling them like what I kind of wanted it to sound like, giving them some reference material here and there, and they actually did a pretty decent job turning it into a legit good sounding song. I thought, man, that could in fact be an ending theme to an animated series. And then I got a little bit overexcited because I had like all these other songs written naturally. So now I'm thinking, what if I just make an entire album specifically based on songs for this damn comic series? Would anyone buy that? I don't know. I don't know if anyone would actually buy music to reap by. But I would like it. There was this other comic series that I reviewed way back in the day. Actually, I think it was a web manga that was like made into a physical comic, and they also had like an audio CD. I think it was just of people like voice acting, so that you could listen and read along. But I don't really do that type. I don't get it. I don't understand the real appeal of that. I understand the voiceover, right? I watch those videos every now and then, but yeah. I don't know if anyone would be as excited if I just like made music about the comic that they were reading that they could listen to while they're reading the comic. But that is an idea. Is it a good one? Oh yes, EVS in chat. What is up, man? Everyone's already welcoming him. I'm sorry, I went on a huge tangent. Dannphan, your outro song is amazing. I listen to the full version fairly often. It's so pretty. Oh, well, thank you. Yes. So, you know then that I write songs, so I don't, it's not like my main talent in life or anything. And I won't pretend like I would take full credit for the quality of said songs that I would commission to be made, but what do you think? Can I poke your brain, chat? What do you think about a like CD album made based on a comic series? Would you buy it? Of course, the original idea was to create like an animated opening, concept opening and ending theme to what would be an animated series, if it was an animated series, which, if we're being realistic, probably won't ever be. But, a girl can dream, right? But would you buy music to reap by? Okay, for those of you who understand that reference, raise your hand. Music to reap by. Will there be metal? Of course there will be metal. It's dark fantasy, baby. Of course it'll be metal. I'll probably throw in like Nocturnal Souls and some bardcore songs in there too. As long as it's metal, I'm down. My man. Burning Star Records, yeah. Buying music is so last century. That is a thing. That is a thing, because the issue is when all music is digitalized, there's no reason to buy the CD. I feel like I'm the only person who still buys CDs sometimes, because a lot of, even cars these days, cars don't have CD players anymore. The fuck? I don't want to listen to the radio. They expect you to plug your phone in and like pull out a playlist or something, but I'm not gonna be fiddling with my phone while I'm trying to drive 5 hours north. And that's not happening. I just want to pop in a CD, man. I like listening to an entire album. Adam doesn't. Adam wants there to be like a lot of variety in the music, but I can totally just zone out and listen to an entire album. I love it. Nothing wrong with more creative exercise. Radios have fake knobs these days. I'd buy it, but I buy everything you sell. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. It's a fun idea. I'll give it that. But it probably is, like, probably too expensive, and maybe people wouldn't be as interested in it as I would be. Music to reap by, for those of you who didn't get the reference. Yu-Gi-Oh! They sold a CD based on the music that, I guess, 4Kids made for the show way back in the day. Not bad music, honestly. We looked it up at one point. One of the people who wrote, like, the songs was the same person who wrote Wrecking Ball that Miley Cyrus sings. Fucking random ass fact right there. But oh my god. The CD was called Music to Duel by. So the joke there is that you would be playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, Duel Monsters, right? While you were listening to the music. And we got a huge kick out of listening to that CD in the car. Adam has the CD. It's the funniest shit ever. He has the CD. This really weird, obscure Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking CD. And there's a lot of funny songs on there. There's good songs on there. There's genuinely, like, good jams. And then there's, like, Pegasus singing. They got fucking Pegasus singing a song. It's like, what are you doing? It's barely music. Wow, welcome to chat. What is she talking about? Sorry, I'm going on a rant about a Yu-Gi-Oh CD that Adam owns called Music to Duel By. And they have the fucking characters in the anime singing some of the songs. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious, it's fantastic, it's a bop. What can I say? Yeah, Music to Reap By, there we go. Does it have Dan Green singing? God, that's a good question. Because there's a duet between Yugi and Taya on the CD, but I don't know if it's actually the voice actors. I don't think it is. But that's what it's supposed to be on the CD. It's supposed to be Yugi and Taya singing to each other. Like as a duet. If that is actually Dan Green singing, good on him. He's not bad, man. Not bad. Got music from most genres. Yeah. Thanks for the donation, Patrick. CD player is extinction. It's almost impossible to buy. That's such a shame because, like, there's a return of vinyl and cassettes. Cassettes! Why? I was looking to buy music from the Midnight, and I always prefer to go to a band's actual official website to buy the music on. Because, you know, it's supporting them directly that way. And the Midnight doesn't have any, like, CDs for the albums that I want. It has a vinyl and cassette. I can't use those. Like, I get it. CD players, hard to come by, but not completely extinct. Adam has a new car that has a CD player in it. So it is possible, it's just less common. Where the fuck am I gonna find a cassette player? What? Is this Back to the Future ass fucking band? Where am I gonna get the Sony Walkman? What? I mean, I guess they probably do sell them somewhere, right? But it's gotta be real obscure, finding something like that. You gotta really be looking for it. You're not just gonna find that lying in any Kmart. Are there still Kmarts? Did I reveal how old and out of touch I am? A surprise that cassettes are making a comeback. Yeah, what's with the cassettes? I mean, they're like they're not very good, honestly. Like, people complained that CDs were not very good, but cassettes? It's so easy to break that. Still have quite a few CDs from my high school and early adult days, but no player beyond my PS1. Yeah, well, the only CD players that we had were in the car. And that's good because the only place that we'd really be needing to listen to a CD would be in the car. Because I don't want to pull out my phone and find a playlist and drain my phone's battery. You know, it's just nicer. It's just nicer to have CDs in and just pop in. Even if you're making the mix at home, I think that's better than fiddling with your phone to find some sort of playlist. I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school, but I like it. Yeah. Get a boombox that plays cassettes. Yeah, I guess that's what I gotta do. I came in like a burning star. Oh yeah, that's the next song he's gonna write. Ah, boy. There was a guy in my high school who owned a boombox. That's pretty retro. That's pretty retro, I'll give him that. I mean, no hate on people who like their vinyl or their record players or their super old school music choices. I'm just like annoyed that that like CDs are going out of style of all things. CDs, come on, it's one of the most reliable ones. And then again, I mean, a lot of it used to be a thing. Every single laptop, every computer you'd get, it'd have at least a CD player, maybe if you're lucky, like a DVD player. Not anymore. Not anymore. What is this bias? Huh? What is this bias against CDs? Explain. It's because they're saving money by taking it out. I'm making it sound more complicated than it is, but it's because they're saving money. It's not that people don't want it anymore. It's that it's just a few less cents that they have to spend on a car or on a computer that they're coming out with. But whatever. Yeah, when companies pushed for streaming more. CDs have been out of style for a long time. Do you not use Spotify or something? No, I don't. I actually don't use Spotify. I use YouTube to listen to everything. I use YouTube and CDs. I like, well, you know, YouTube kind of indirectly supports the creators behind the music because of ad revenue, but it's kind of like, you know? CDs and merch support way more directly the people making the music. But I'm not a really big band merch type of person, so I'd rather just buy the CD and, yeah, I'd like something to listen to in the car. And I use CDs. That's what I use. Maybe if I'm really desperate and want to drain my phone battery as quickly as possible, then I'll plug in my phone to the aux cord. The Bluetooth never works. It's useless trying to do the Bluetooth, but sure, I'll plug it in to the car if I must. But yeah, I prefer the CD. I do. It's just way simpler. Sadly, the Walkman is not making a comeback. Yeah, not today, I guess. I give it a few more years. It'll come back. There's somebody out there selling cassette tapes. There's gotta be some method of that. Hi, Dannphan. Looks like you're doing a magic trick in the thumbnail. I have no idea what the thumbnail looks like. But you have made me curious. Yeah, it's a conspiracy, Dannphan. There are no more CDs or DVDs anymore because they don't want you to own shiz. Hey, there's like real backing to the whole idea of they don't want you to own anything. It's more profitable for them to digitalize everything because it costs them less money. It's less money to stream and digitalize everything. And then additionally, they don't have to go through the effort of re-releasing things on physical because they can just update the file digitally. And that's it. There's just like a lot of different places where they save money by keeping everything digital. So there is like some truth to companies wanting to move as far away from physical product as possible. But I do prefer physical stuff. I remember CDs for car rides in the 90s, early 2000s. Ah, yes. Back in the old days. I could never get my parents to play CDs. The only CDs I could get them to play is like some Bible camp CDs or Kids Bop. Maybe. They, yeah. They usually just had the radio on. Single tier. The shitty radio. But, you know, it's fine. Yep, that's probably accurate. Musicians get more money from one CD purchase than 2,000 streaming sales. I don't buy digital albums either. I don't really see the point, honestly. If everything's on YouTube for free, then why not just watch it on YouTube? I mean, what, to avoid ads? I have ad blocker. It's fine. That's no, yeah, I don't know. I see it with Steam games a lot. Like, one of the things that they offer you to buy is like the digital album for the music, but I can just look up the music on it. If I really want to hear the music, I can probably just look it up on YouTube. It's probably fine. And don't get me wrong, like, I know YouTube ad revenue is not great. That's why I do like to buy the albums in physical. But, you know. Because if I'm buying a digital album, it feels like I'm just making a donation at that point. Because I'm never going to use the digital album. I would actually use the physical CD in my car. So I can feel better about that purchase, at least. Nintendo has entered the chat. Oh, has Nintendo? Hope your Friday is going well so far. Yeah, I think it is. I think we're doing pretty good so far. We went on quite a tangent about music, didn't we? For those of you wondering how that conversation even got started, talking about CDs and all that, I was talking about commissioning music, more music. I've already commissioned some music, but commissioning more music based off of the Reaper series. And I was like questioning if that would be something people would be excited about, to like listen to music about the comic that they're reading. But the real reason why I was commissioning music is because I was thinking of doing concept opening and ending themes for Reaper as like promotional material. Similar to what I did for the first song, Nocturnal Souls, as promotional material. Yes. Really miss the feeling of opening a CD and looking at the liner notes while I'm listening to it. Gunslinger says, Dannphan, keep up the great content. Have a good weekend. Thank you, man. My favorite singers are Vocaloid, who are not real. Vocaloid is really interesting because the popularity of the characters came from the people making the songs, like from the fans who are just interested in using the program to create concept songs based on, you know, whatever songs they had in their heads. And it's just like, it's similar to Webtoon, where the fans actually create most of the content for the company. It's really funny in that way. But I was super into the Vocaloid stuff way back in the day. Now, probably not so much. I still like a lot of the musicians and songwriters, of course, who've made a lot of cool stuff with the Vocaloid program. But, you know, there's a lot of creativity involved in it. Missed out on Vocaloid, but it's impressive how much influence it has on some people. Yeah, it's impressive how much it blew up to the point where now, like, Miku, the completely fictional character who was supposed to just be a mascot for selling this program, now she's like considered to actually be an icon and have her own concerts and stuff like that. It's very interesting. People underestimate good character design, you know? That's a good point. That's also a very good point. They do have good character designs. Very true. My favorite Vocaloid is Len. Interesting. Okay. Alright. I think there's a bunch of new characters that I don't keep up with also. But when I was into Vocaloid, I got into some of the edgier songs. Some of the edgier Miku songs, yes. There's this one, I'm gonna butcher this name because it's just something that I'm pulling off of memory. But there's this one songwriter who used Vocaloid in a very unique way that made Miku sound raspy. And I think his name was Nashimoto/P. And he made a bunch of cool, like, kind of metal-esque songs with Miku. And I enjoyed a lot of them. I even covered some of them back in the day. So, take that as you will. Don't look those up. Please don't look those up. They're still somewhere on the internet. Please don't find them. But, no, he did some pretty good work. I think it was Nashimoto. I don't remember for sure. Nothing comes up. But then again, it's a shitty search engine, so who knows. Oh wait! This is probably him. Yui Mashio. Yeah, okay, so it is Nashimoto. Nashimoto/P. Yep, that's him. He also had some pretty freaky images to put alongside, not like terribly drawn or anything, just like sufficiently creepy. Let me share my screen actually, I'll show you what I'm talking about. There we go. Like, look at that! It's like, that's freaky. That's like some freaky and yet simple cover art to put alongside your song. Everything's all blurry. These darn brave images. Yeah, you can't really appreciate the art as much because they're not really coming up. But, you know. Alright. Sharing my screen was a disaster. I'm sorry. Various images to, like, try to show you. Otherwise, I swear, they looked interesting. The art was not that bad, I swear. Alright, well, that was one of the things that I was into back in the day, right? But I wouldn't, if I were gonna be making my own songs, I wouldn't want to do it Vocaloid style. Vocaloid is, it's a very, like, specific kind of sound that they give you, and you know, it's good for when you're trying to come up with a concept song, but I always prefer hearing a real voice, and so I would, when I commission songs, and as I go forward commissioning more songs, I'm gonna actually get singers to do it. I would sing them myself, of course, and save a ton of money by singing and performing these myself, but I'm just not that good. I'm just not that talented. I put all my stats into comic making, so we're gonna have to stick to that. Vocaloid songs can get pretty dark, to be fair. Oh yeah, some of them are pretty terrifying for no reason. A lot of them would tell stories, and I think that was also super interesting. Music's about a story, and then you'd have a fan who actually, like, animates or puts together visuals for the story over the song. And that's, you know, that's pretty neat. It goes back to what I was saying before, where it's like the fans really took this program and made basically all the content for it. You can tune it to sound human? No. No, it'll always sound robotic. You can make it sound like slightly more human-esque, but it's always going to sound like, it would be the same if I took video of myself singing and I edited it together and I changed the tune of it to make it sound like I was singing in a different note each time. It would sound like that, but that still sounds robotic. It still doesn't sound quite right, and your brain can kind of recognize that it's a little uncanny. But, you know, it is like a very specific style, and some people are really into it, some people are really not. I've never really been a fan of autotune sound. It's kind of funny thinking about it, but yeah, I guess we have had like a good old decade of just people with their natural voice trying to digitalize it and make it sound more robotic. Other way around. So people really do like that sound, or at least some people do. I don't hate it. I just prefer a real voice. That is much more pleasant to my ears. I like many AMV music videos. Yeah, I used to do them way back in the day. Before I was a super cool channel that you see here today, I used to be an AMV channel. I'm one of the OG AMV makers, baby. Before, you know, copyright existed. Also listen to Servant Daughter of Evil. Oh yeah, I've watched those. Are you kidding me? That was back in my heyday when those music videos came out. Of course I've seen them. Well, as if I haven't seen them. There are some pretty good English covers of those too. Like, you know, real people singing, but real people singing and doing English that I also used to listen to. Have you read Gachai Kuta or watched Hell's Paradise? I just recently started checking them out. They seem pretty cool. No on the Gachai Kuta. What is that? That does sound interesting. Hell's Paradise, is that what I'm thinking? Yeah, okay. Alright. I haven't read this one. There's some other manga or indie manga, I should say, that I was thinking of that has a similar title to this. But no, I have not seen Hell's Paradise either. It looks quite edgy based on the images that came up when I was just like image searching this. Gotcha, what now? Gachai Kuta is peak. What is it about? You guys gotta tell me like what's going on, huh? This is a manga? Oh, this looks unique. Look at this art style. God damn. Alright, let me see if I can find a plot description somewhere. Ah, geez, why is it with these wiki articles the plot description is like 2 paragraphs long? Just like copy and paste what's on the... Anyway. Living in the slums of a wealthy society are a population of tribesfolk who are descended from criminals exiled from society. Ah, based. Living among the tribesfolk is a young boy named Rudo who detests the upper class's wastefulness. They often dump anything deemed trash, including criminals, into a massive dump site below the town known as the Pit. Sounds kinda like Alita. Rudo was told by his foster father, Regto, that his biological father was dumped into the pit for a crime before he was born. One day after rummaging through the dump site, Rudo returns home to find Regto killed. Apprehended at the scene, Rudo is immediately charged with murder despite his innocence. Oh, wouldn't there be a trial? Due to his status as a tribesman. What? Huh? Unable to escape his fate, Rudo swears revenge upon the people and is dumped into the pit. I thought he was already in the pit. Okay, gotcha. So the pit is different from the slums. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, alright, whatever. So there's wealthy, then there's the slums, then there's the pit. Okay. Is there something higher than the wealthy society? Is there the gods? Or how much does this stack? I don't know about this one. That was a pretty bad plot description, though, to be fair. Hell's Paradise is solid, worth a watch. Got Hell's Paradise on my hard drive. I need to get around to watching it. Oh, the anime came out. Okay. Gotcha. I really like the art of Gokura Kugai. Personally, nothing too original, but it's a fun read, and it was funny to see the author didn't finish drawing a fight scene earlier in the story. Gachai Kuta is the first manga my fiance and I started collecting together. Ah, that's adorable. Awesome. Oh my gosh, we're almost done the hour already. Well, we talked about a bunch of things, mostly CDs. 90%. I think we talked about music. And that's fine. It's fun talking about different creative endeavors, of course. But as I was saying before, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. I will not commission an entire album of music unless I am sure that I can do something with the music that would be, at the very least, let me break even on the money that I put towards it. But, yeah. You can look forward to plenty of comics coming forward in the next year, for sure. Almost done the draft of Book 2 of Reaper. It's just the draft, but, you know, that's a big step in actually getting it out there. I'm slow compared to other manga people, right? But to be fair, I'm not just focusing on this, because I also have to finish up Sonic City Witch, and that's a whole other... I just want to be done it already! Anyway. Just one more round of editing, and I'll get that to the printers, and I can relax. I can relax and just not have to worry about it anymore. We can go full throttle on the Reaper series, because God knows I want to. Yeah, there we go. And then I want to, once I'm done fulfilling the Sonic City Witch campaign, I want to put together a roadmap for 2025 so you can know, at the very least, know when Reaper Book 2 is coming out. At the very least. I'm still kind of trying to decide on platforms where I should be posting it. Most people just say post on any platform. Just anywhere where they allow you to fund for things, just post your comic there. I don't know if that's actually like a good method, but that's what people say. So maybe I should just do that. I don't know. I just post it on all the crowdfunding platforms everywhere, and maybe that'll be good. maybe then I'll get it done. Anywhere but Webtoon. Yeah, okay. Sure. Alright. I'll update you as things actually finish, of course. I'll get that roadmap done, and we'll know what we're doing next year. At the very least, by the end of this year, we'll know what we're doing next year. Sorry, I'm just moving my legs and everything is really tight in this corner over here. Have I ever bitched about how tight this spot I record in is? Anyway, I do hope that you have had a fantastic Friday. I hope everything in your life is going well. I hope you're out there doing things that are cool. We will have more videos coming out next week. I'll at least get one. I'll at least get one done. I've got a couple on the back burner, but... And you can enjoy that next time, eh? And I'll see you for the next Friday with Dannphan stream as well, and we'll talk about more weird and crazy things, random creative endeavors, etc., etc. Maybe at some point we'll get back to the game fans stream as also, if you're interested in gaming content. So, thank you for joining me for the Friday stream, and good night everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye!